Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. So, a little bit of a strange issue there. For some reason, OBS was not playing ball and was not actually recognizing that I had a microphone. So, hey, how are you guys doing? Now, yes, as I was saying, I don't know if this will include the prior footage of the other stream, but if not, I'll just delete that because that was like 30 seconds of dead air. Indeed, yes, how are you guys doing? We are once again black? Yes, well, once again black with Combat Mission Black Sea. Now, it has been obviously some time since I last played this. And I suppose you could say it's the current headlines that has somewhat prompted me to go back to Black Sea. It's definitely one of the... I'd say it's probably my favourite combat mission game. It's definitely up there. I think it's definitely one of the most polished ones. And I really do like the modern setting. I find it really to be quite cool. Right, yeah, hello there, Mr. 9 Million. I believe it's the first time I've seen you in chat. How are you doing, my friends? So, here we go. We have Gagarina. Gagarina checkpoint. Should be interesting. I probably butchered the pronunciation there, but oh well. So then, Norbert, how you doing, my friend? So the situation. Russian forces are moving in on Kharkiv from multiple sides. 11th Company of the 27th Battalion Tactical Group has been asked to lead an attack from the southeast. Intel suggests that there's a temporary checkpoint established further up on the road, on the intersection of the T-105 and the MO3 highways. Most of the Canadian forces have moved inside the city, leaving a few units on the outskirts to delay our advance. Destroying this checkpoint should cut off the enemy's supply lines in this area and allow us to isolate the city before making the main assault. The mission is to destroy all Ukrainian forces around the intersection by assaulting and clearing the checkpoint. Objectives, yeah? Be prepared for enemy reinforcements sent from inside the city. So, friendly forces, Scout Section and 1st Rifle Platoon are already on the scene. 4th Tank Platoon, together with the company headquarters, will arrive in 5 minutes. They'll get us UAV and mortar support. 2nd Rifle Platoon is 10 minutes behind. 3rd Platoon stays in reserve for now. Okay, that's not too bad. Right. Yeah, I mean, I usually stream random times. Give or take, it's usually between 5 and 6 GMT plus 0. So we have here the Scout Section, the 1st Rifle Platoon, and then obviously we'll gain the Tank Platoon and the company headquarters within about 5 minutes. 10 minutes later, we obviously gain a 2nd Rifle Platoon, so that should be rather intriguing. Right, the enemy forces consist of Ukrainian mechanized infantry with BTR-4s, to be expected. However, most of the Ukrainian forces are busy preparing defenses inside the city itself, so we're not exactly sure what we have left on the outskirts, or what might be sent as reinforcements. Be prepared to meet their tanks. Recon the surroundings of the intersection, attack anything you find, assault enemy positions when ready. Mission begins at 5:50. Okay. Casualty rate above 50% is unacceptable. Stay sharp. Right, yeah. Let's see. Right, so Scout Section, 1st Rifles. We have 3 BMP-3s there, 3 Rifle Squads, MG Team. Here we have, in the Scout Section, we have 2 MT-LBM 6MAs. Obviously the Headquarters, the Scout Team, Breach Team, LMG Team. 5 minutes later we'll gain 3 T-90As. 2 BMP-3s, was the command team, the UAV Zala, well the Zala UAV, as well as 3 120mm mortars. And then of course afterwards another 3 BMPs with another 3 rifle squads and MG team. Okay, so we have rather more tactical map, I'd say. It's not the largest here. Yeah, okay. So take a look at the actual terrain here. I think I might have played this mission before. Yeah, I feel like I've definitely played this mission before. But it's always a good one. It'll be one of these scenarios. We'll play probably a couple. I've only just installed the game, to be fair, so... we'll definitely go through a few more here. Really have some fun. Okay, so if we take a look over here, I feel like... Yeah, I've definitely played this one. If it's the one I'm thinking of, then yeah, definitely. Let's take a look here. Okay, how is everything looking on the stream side? Seems to be okay. Sometimes it can kind of be janky in combat mission. Oh, actually, you know what? I've not played this one. Okay, well that's kind of cool. How does it look to you guys? Is it running smooth? I've got VSync on here, but I've turned the graphics up to absolute maximum, so it should look absolutely fantastic. So from what we can see here... we do, of course, have the highway. This would appear to be the roadblock. It seems to be a little bit choppy, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit choppy. Let's see, can I actually do anything about that? Let's go to our I'm actually going to turn off the V-Sync, so just one moment. Right, V-Sync off. Yep, there we go. Thankfully, this game you really don't have to do much like that. So not the campaign, let's go to the battles, and it was Gagarina. There we go, play as the Red Force. We're playing real time and on Iron difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. I think at the end of the day, you might as well. I suppose in real time, everything is just about as deadly as everything else, so, yeah. No music here today, because I can't seem to find the actual sound files for this game, and I can't remember if it's copyrighted or not. So of course, feel free to play your own sound there. Actually playing a PvP on this scenario currently is the Russians. That's really awesome, isn't it? That's cool. Yeah, I see I might do some play-by-email games of this. I've never had the experience of that, so it should be rather interesting. Okay, so hopefully everything is a little bit better. No, it seems a little bit choppy on the stream side. Well, it was a... well, I thought it was a different scenario at first, so this is going to be rather interesting. But of course, these are our two main objectives over here. The thing is, of course, we are approaching a position through these farmers' fields, of course, so... it depends, really. I'd imagine the Canadian forces are obviously going to be deployed in advance. They'd probably have something out here in terms of, like, reconnaissance. Now, this is rather intriguing. The thing is, of course, we do have these buildings which obviously do present solid cover. The only thing is, I would be incredibly surprised if they were not, in fact, held by Ukrainian forces. So the thing is, we could actually move up to these buildings, but in reality, we could be moving up into enemy jaws here. I'd imagine they will have something. If not here, then definitely something around here. Though it just depends on the line of sight, or even here, this is quite a good spot. These are like almost like small compounds as well, so they do present some really good defensible positions. So I suppose in reality, it may be very much a case of just having to advance quite slowly using infantry to possibly push up to these positions here. I mean, if we can actually get some line of sight ourselves, that'd be quite nice. But we do have the advantage of the fields over here. If I remember how to zoom, yep, X, okay. So we do have these fields over here, where we could potentially push with some infantry. Though, it does depend on how steep this is. We'll actually take a quick look at the road here itself. Okay. There seems to be something of a bank in here, which may actually be a lifesaver. I could probably run some infantry up this side of the bank here. Now, if we go with that, we should have some cover at least from the buildings over here. We could potentially run up this road in the center. That could be doable. What is it like there? Okay. So, a second, I'm just going to turn on an option here, see if that's any better. I'm just trying to make sure the video is not as choppy. Yeah, it just looks choppy on the stream side. I guess it's just something with the game there. I can see about doing that in the future, trying to improve that. Yes, definitely a lot of open ground, so I suppose we've got to look for cover where it's available. See, there's a good solid bit of tree line here, obviously from this road. But this is obviously pushing on this objective, so I'd imagine there's got to be something. So if you take a look at the forces that we actually have available to us, it's rather small, isn't it? Of course we have the two MT LBM-6MAs, and then of course the BMPs. I think it's definitely going to be a case of having these scouts probably move out first and foremost. Though the thing is, they're just as vulnerable as the actual infantry in the open. In some ways, more so due to the fact that they don't have the numbers there. So we have here the leader, the soldier, and the radio operator. I do have a breach team here, I have an LMG team, which is the headquarters. Now we do have two snipers over here with the SVDs. These are quite effective. Though I would have preferred them over here. Would have very much preferred that. Let's see, is there anything from here that I could acquire? Now, do we take some AT rockets? It may be worthwhile to do so, considering the fact, right, okay, so we already have two of them. Well, we have one of them already, but I'm going to take a second one here. I will just take about... We'll take 2 rockets here. The reason for that is I'd rather have something there. Okay. So I'll just move them outside for the time being. Now if I'm looking at this, I'd say probably push up to this tree line here. That might be the best way to start. And try and get some line of sight over this end of the map. And ideally, if we can, I'd like to push up this side. I know it seems a little bit strange considering that we do have the tree line protecting us here. But the thing is, with vehicles, I'd rather have the space to actually advance them. And I feel that we could potentially deal with this. We'll have the scout team move up to here. Then we can obviously try and push on this position using infantry. And of course using our actual vehicles from behind these tree lines to actually blow away the upper levels there. Have you played the Shock Force 2 demo? No, I have not. Is it worth playing? Is there actually much of a change there? Okay, so what we'll do is obviously play this rather slowly. So I'll have them... fast move to about here. And then I'll have them hunt up to this position here. It very much reminds me of Armoured Brigade right now. Which is funny. Very funny. Okay, facing that direction. And that'll be about it for the time being. I really don't want to push too much. I need to use my scout sections here. What we will do then is obviously deploy our forces here. Now... we'll have them somewhat spaced out. We'll have the vehicles open up here. Or can they open up? Can you open up? You can't open up? Can you? Right, these BMPs can. So we'll have the BMPs open up. The reason for that is obviously then their commanders can obviously see outside of the vehicle. I like the fact they can actually see inside the vehicle to some extent, that's pretty cool. Right. Though I think what I'll do here then is I'm going to have one of my BMPs deployed. I'd say about here. Now let's take a look at the actual sideline. So if I was to have a... right, okay. Ah, so you're in a depression there. If I move you up to this position here, have you facing that direction? No, you still don't have line of sight, so it seems that, yeah, so we could move up to possibly this position here. So what we'll do then is I'm going to, I'll have them slowly move up later on. The engine improvements are shocking compared to Shock Force 1, that says 2008 tech, so things aren't super lopsided towards NATO. Yeah, I know, right. Okay. It's about it for the time being. I might have my snipers from actually from the scout section headquarters move out. Probably not the worst idea. Let's see. Can I have them deployed in here? I can't. Okay. Again, we'll have similar orders. I just want to get them into this tree line here, see how things go. Of course, I can move this vehicle then up towards the road, where the actual land increases in height. Okay. This would be rather interesting. Somewhat afraid of what's going to happen, but we'll see. Hello there, Nikita. On the mission at hand, are you familiar with the smoke screen that your vehicles deploy? Yes, I realize some vehicles have smoke screens, and some of them have smoke screens that have, like, infrared, that can block infrared. I'm sure something like that. It's been a little while since I've actually played, to be fair. So go ahead, if you have some information, then that'd be great. Let's see. We do have that smoke, I can't remember now. infrared optics. Okay, smoke launcher. Also, the tanks you do have thermal sights, I believe, so normally infantry from the Ukrainian can be seen through it. Okay. So there's Satragard, how you do, my friend? And welcome, Nikita. See, they've moved out pretty quickly. I find it interesting that they've actually managed to move together. I didn't think I gave them orders so very close together, but it seems they're working as a unit here. All vehicles deploy anti-infantry... Oh, anti-infrared smoke. Okay, that's awesome. You do? Oh, wow. That's handy then, isn't it? So I know who to complain to, don't I? That's funny. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, dude. Also, Eastern pattern smoke launchers launch out very far forward to a large area of... Right. That's great. It's very handy. I mean, what I'm envisioning here is potentially, we can sort of leapfrog. Now, I'd imagine there will be something covered in this area here. I doubt the Ukrainian forces will obviously leave such a glaring hole in their defences. So I think what we'll probably do then is have a vehicle push up to around about here, have them deploy their smoke, and then sort of leapfrog. Ideally to the hard cover over here. I mean, what I would like to do is obviously have my snipers over here, so obviously the HQ section as well as the actual scout team itself. Ideally identify the targets from a distance, and then I can of course use the firepower of the BMP-3 to ideally deliver a 100mm shell of fun. I mean, we are equipped with ATGM-10s as well, these are quite nice. We are obviously going to be expecting Ukrainian armor, whether that's like infantry fighting vehicles, whether that's actually full-blown tanks, who knows. Yeah, but it's pretty cool to have the scenario offering. That's awesome. Okay, so they're just getting ready here. Yeah, this is actually quite solid cover. So in fairness, I could potentially move the BMPs up behind this cover and not worry too terribly much. Okay. Good. It's a good position. Right. Now they're starting to use their binoculars. I do apologise about the choppiness of the actual game. I don't know whether it's potentially the FPS issues. I could try and turn it down later, but we'll see how we get on with this one. Sometimes combat mission can be quite funny. Okay. You could do with being a little bit further up on the bank in here, so we'll have you move up there. Let's have you hunt up to the top. I do love the details. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to slowly advance a vehicle up to about here. I would like them to keep an eye out this way. There we go. Now, possibly not the best idea. I mean, it does give the visibility... Obviously, the visibility of the vehicle. But it is exposing the crew. So we'll have batten up. Okay. It's been 5 minutes already? Wow, that's impressive. Okay, so further reinforcements have arrived. Well, that's quite good. What do we actually gain here? These are original forces. Okay, so we do have the T-90s. So there, Lord Zell, how you do, my friend? Still needed, my lord. Okay, I do have another scout section over here, so we have, well, actually 4 observers. Now, this is actually quite cool. We do have the UAV. Sweet. That's pretty fantastic. Okay, so we do have a Zala. I mean, this is it. Where do we actually take a look at? If I target the area, it's only that size. So if we were to use this on like a linear... it's not terribly large, is it? Okay. Now, there is something to be said for actually using potentially smokes to actually just to advance onto this area here. I could even use the high explosive rounds. If we take a look, so we have 120... Yeah, well, we have 90 120mm high explosive shells. We have 12 of these ones. I just can't... Is that Grant? I can't actually read that. My eyesight is a little bit terrible sometimes. And then we do have 18 120mm smoke rounds. Well, we are assaulting the Ukrainian outpost over here, which is going to be rather interesting. I am kind of tempted to actually just lay down some smoke, to be fair. So I think what we'll do is... Well, then again, this is going to block our own line of sight. I think we'll use the UAV first and foremost. So what I'll do then is I'll put it into this area here, perhaps. About there. Okay, observe, immediate, confirm. That's going to take a few minutes to arrive. Okay. Now I think what I'd like to do is actually give myself some cover. Issues I don't really have a line of sight over here. As we obviously do need to move the forward observers forward. So there, David, David, how are you doing? Of course, first stream of the day, so I'm always tongue-tied. So there, Sam, how are you doing, my friend? Okay, now we do have the forward observers. I'm going to probably wait for the UAV to arrive. I think at the end of the day, it's not worth it to go guns blazing. Not quite yet. Okay, so I'm going to move slowly up to this position as well. About there. I would like to actually use these T-90s. Their firepower is going to be incredibly handy. Okay, so line up about here. You know, I was actually looking at Galloping Horse Downfall and Gauntlets Crossed. I think I've actually played Gauntlets Crossed. I think that was one of the favourites of mine. Shift plus, okay. Oh, is that the... Is it Shift plus? Is it? Is that to do with the shadows? To be fair, I could probably turn that down. Let's see. Can I do something about that? Let's take a look at these hotkeys. I'll see if I can turn the shadows off. Toggle shadows. Okay. Okay, that seems a lot better. Ah, that's wholesome. Okay, so everything seems a lot smoother there, yep. Okay, so it seems to be in the shadows. To be fair, I've got everything on best, so shadows are understandably going to cause some issues as well. So far our troops aren't seeing anything, obviously the forward scouts. Now, I could try to potentially move them up. If we take a look at the actual banking, well, it doesn't look like much of a banking here. There is a little bit of a banking, but not terribly much. I do have a feeling that obviously this building is going to be held. It may be worthwhile. Shift plus square brackets. Okay. Oh, right, okay. Shift plus square brackets. Ah, right, okay. So does that obviously turn that up and down? Awesome. Didn't know about that. With shadows off, though, we do seem to be okay. Right. I think what I'm going to do then is we may deploy one of our infantry teams. How many times could we actually launch this smoke here? It's not long until the actual UAV arrives on site, though, to be fair. Okay, second platoon has arrived. I feel like we should probably get moving. Okay. What we'll do here then is I'm going to have one of the infantry teams deploy. So just quickly exit the vehicle. I'm also going to drive a second vehicle up to this position here. A third one over to this position here. I think potentially having more infantry in the tree line may give us the possibility of spotting an enemy, but at the end of the day I think they're probably quite well hidden. Okay, we do have a bunch of horses here. Forward observer team would be quite handy. I think what I'll do then is I'm going to take my T90s. I'm definitely favouring this approach. So we'll have the T90s approach over here. I'm very much keen on keeping them at a distance for the fire support. You monster. Oh dear. Okay, so we can actually take a look at this then. So we'll just pause it here slightly. Yeah, this terrain isn't exactly amazing. It's quite open, isn't it, as you can imagine. I'm really nervous about these buildings. I definitely feel like there's something there. I think what we'll do then is potentially move alongside this road. So I'm going to have the infantry just quickly push up to this position here. I want them to be ready. Then I'd like them to just move across here. So round about there. At the end of the day, I just want to actually see about this. What about Armoured Brigade? We will be playing more Armoured Brigade, don't worry about that one. Don't you worry about that, sunshine. Okay, just slowly. Actually, we'll move up here slowly, but I'm going to just quickly pause it then. So we'll have a 10-second pause. Then I would like you to actually cross potentially here, but we'll wait for the infantry to do so. Have you targeted in that direction. It may be worth it to have a T90 deployed over here, potentially. Possibly so, but we'll see. I think having a T90 here may be quite worthwhile. Round about this spot here, so this tree line does cover it from this angle, but it does give us a good solid fire arc on these buildings. Okay, so we'll continue. Have the infantry move out. See, this is what I like about playing this game on real time, is it's like things just... The response is very, very quick. Right then. What I wanted to do here is obviously have the vehicle move behind the actual infantry. I mean, in fairness, I could have potentially done with having something extra in here just to make sure that they can pop out, and obviously have that extra bit of vision. And this vehicle is actually, I'm just going to stop it here, but in fact, I'm just going to revert it slightly. I feel it's a little bit too exposed in that position right there. I love that response there. So quick, so fluid. I really do feel like things are going to fairly quickly hit the fan. Shit will hit the fan pretty quickly. Okay. Airburst mode. That's pretty awesome. Right. Ah, shoots automatically. That's pretty awesome. What is that line of sight? Right. It seems the road is obviously getting in the way there. I will have them slowly move just to the edge of the tree line. So as far as we can tell, no enemy sighted as of yet. It probably will be worth to move the second platoon over here. Okay, we do have a couple trees there. That might present some decent cover. Okay, so they've obviously... right. They do have line of sight on the building. I think what I'll do then is I'll obviously just tell them to hold position here for the time being. I'd love you, my friend. You have that RPG ready. Okay. So just slowly move about here. At one major node, Russian BMPs have 2 crews only. Commander seat is empty when the infantry disembarks. So having infantry inside increases spot due to the commander seat being occupied. Yeah, that's what I just mentioned there just a few moments back about obviously should have had something inside there. Right. Of course, I'm focusing my attention here on this side of the map, but of course, there's a great chance that there is something out here. In fact, I'm almost completely sure there will be something. I'm somewhat tempted just to lay a couple of rounds into some of these buildings. At the end of the day, it's not really... I suppose it is and it isn't a waste of resources, but if it means that we actually get a chance at taking something down preemptively, I would be happy with that. Okay, what is your line of sight like there? You don't quite have it there. You're not far off. So what I'll do then is just reverse to this position here. Right, yep, that's what I need. Okay, so what I'm going to do here then is, I'll have a second squad push up on this flank. So just move over there. Now what I'd like them to do is obviously assault towards this position here. Then obviously as they move up, we'll have this squad in position here. I would like to have a LMG team, so we'll have this squad as well. So this vehicle will move up to this position here, right about there. Have it face that way. Okay, so I still have the platoon headquarters there. What I plan on doing then is potentially having the LMG squad deploy, well the LMG team deploy and having the squad remain within the vehicle. So obviously their vehicle then could open up. But the thing is, once infantry does spot the enemy, we can of course use our vehicles on indirect fire mode. Basically direct fire mode. Of course I'll just give them an order of where to fire. I don't really need them to see it. At least directly. Right. So, I'm going to lay down a couple shots here. Yeah. I think a couple rounds into the upper stories of these buildings might be worthwhile. Just going to have you target this area briefly. So just a couple rounds. Of course I can clear the target then afterwards. Did that just go through? I think that just went through the roof of the building. Indeed. Actually, just gonna try and, let's see. There we go. Yeah, I just think, Black Sea is just playing funny with OBS. OBS can be a pain sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to try another round in here. Okay. Then there's one here, please. Okay. Then I would like you to reverse here. At the end of the day, they will be aware of something. See, what I like about this is obviously they're using the road here. Move these T-90s up. I love how fast they move. Okay, move to a tree line. So I'm going to assume that's mortar fire there. How long until we have the UAV on station? Okay, so it's actually in the area right now. Well, that's intriguing. Right, you have opened up. Yeah, that I can cover. Okay. So I'd like you to obviously assault towards that building there. We will of course need some armor on this side. Okay, so the actual T-90s are in position here. Right, hold your position for the moment. Right. I'd like you to obviously keep an eye out in that direction. I'm going to have you slowly move towards that position there. Hmm. Well now. That's pretty nasty. Right, so we have airburst munitions. So they definitely have line of sight on our infantry there. They're trying to use artillery to take them down. Thankfully we moved up our infantry when we did. Now, we do have the option here of, do we just put balls to the wall and... Right, okay. Now that's dangerous. We do have something of a line of sight here on a possible enemy vehicle here. So we're going to pull back. Okay, let's take a quick look over here then. So there's potentially something sighted here. What I'll do then is actually use the UAV and start observing this area. If we spot enemy vehicles, we can call down some mortar fire. Okay, so we'll adjust the mission. Something like that would be good. Observe. Immediate. Confirm. There we go. So the infantry's moving along here now. So, I think what we'll do then is I'm going to take a risk. I do need some armoured firepower here. The issue is, what is the terrain like? It's pretty open, isn't it? I think what we'll try and do then is we'll try and storm this compound. Then once we can get some infantry up into the building there, assuming that this is actually not occupied by enemy forces, we can try and set up some line of sight. I think that's the most important thing there. Right. I do love how the infantry does this. When they assault, they basically split the team in half. One half moves, the other half moves, the other half moves, so on and so forth. I'm quite happy with the fact that we have actually got something spotted. What I'm going to do is actually start to push on towards a position here. I'd like to try and get some additional line of sight going. So far so good on this position here. I'm going to have the ones closest to the road actually push up to about here as well. Right, the photo observers. Then I can try and set up an LMG team in the woods there. Okay, so the infantry's move in fairly safely. Nothing terribly much has happened. I think we'll wait until we have the UAV over this site over here. So I could have the infantry pop smoke. It's a shame that there's not more room behind the building here, otherwise I could have snuck the BMP down the back. Okay, I'd like them to assault this building. I'd like you to assault this one too. I do need to check them over. There's a very real possibility that this may be a killing zone here. I really can't risk bringing vehicles out here, as we're definitely aware that there is a potential enemy vehicle here, and I'd imagine they'd have a pretty good line of sight, potentially. Okay, they're not immediately dead, as I feared. We'll follow them into the building. Okay. It does look like an anti-tank... Yeah, it looks like he was injured. He wasn't killed. That's very good news. Right, I've accidentally given them the wrong orders there. Okay, we'll just have you assault into the compound. Yeah, that's true, the breach team. Breach team is... over here, yeah, okay. Thing is, I'm a little bit reluctant to move them so far forward. I do like to have the infantry out first, just to get an idea of what's going on. Right, I'll have them move up to the third floor pretty quickly. So as we can tell, there's nothing right now. I think what I might do is actually... I could do a move in the forward observers to that building. That's very cool. Right, I think I'll move the forward observers to that area. Right, you're in position then, it seems. You don't see anything as of yet, but I can ideally call in some indirect fire. I'm calling in about this area. I have 3 mortars here. I'll have a medium. Yeah, about short. I'll go with general. Immediately. Confirm. Okay. So as far as we can tell, we can't see anything as of yet. I think I will bring the 2 teams over here. To have them move up to the 3rd floor of that building. Now, I could sneak a BMP behind the back of these buildings here, which would be quite advantageous. Right. You are lined up here. So I think what we'll do then is... I'm going to have them pop smoke just out in front of the wall here. The reason is I want them to actually sort towards these buildings over here. But I'd rather not have them out in the open. At least immediately. Okay. So we'll give that smoke an edge minute or so just to start going off first. Okay. I'd like you to begin your assault towards the building here. I'm going to wait and try and bring up the breach team if I can. I think it's one of those things of, do we actually need to use the breach team? I could always use the BMP over here to potentially put a hole in the wall. That's true. I'm going to explore that idea. Can we do that? No line of sight there. Okay. I'm going to move up this vehicle. I have it move up to this position here. It might have the bank in there covering it. It does have some trees to help conceal it as well. I do want to move up some mobile firepower. Okay, so the infantry are... Yep, they're pushing up now. At least they'll have this small amount of smoke just to give them some cover. Davai. I love how fast things can move. Right. Thanks that direction. As far as we can tell, there's no armor spotted as of yet. I was going to put a couple shots into this building over here. I really don't trust it much. Now go, train the gun. Just the MG. Actually, what happens there? You know what's funny is, I've always used that as just a rangefinder. And it's only just occurred to me that when it says target light, it actually means just using light weapons. I've only just realised that. I can't believe it's only just dawned on me now. That shot's definitely wide. No? Good hit. Good hit. I'm going to take another shot into this building. Yeah. The reason for it is I really don't trust it. It definitely doesn't hurt to put a 100mm shell into it. There we go, see the shell in flight. Okay, we'll cancel that. Okay. Top floor, have them ideally observe out this way. Okay, so I've made it to the building. Doesn't seem to be anything as of yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them move up to the second floor. Obviously assault there. This team is going to move up rather quickly to this wall here. I'm going to try and leapfrog them. I do need to move my infantry up on this flank as well. You're taking shots, aren't you? Right, there's the artillery London. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of armor here. Right, okay, we actually do have some eyes on target here. Who has this spotted? Right, you've now been spotted by the infantry over here. Okay, that's good. So this is actually a fairly formidable Ukrainian piece of armor. Well, light armor. They're quite effective. 30mm rapid-fire autocannon, yeah, 80 GMs. Definitely not something you want to really mess with. But at least we have a actual target now. We actually have something to work with. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to move the scout team over here as well. Okay, continue. I feel like it might be worthwhile to actually bring the T-90s up to this position here. Mostly for the Overwatch. At the end of the day, if we do have Ukrainian armor moving up on us, we really want to be able to get the first drop on it. Right, we are under artillery fire in this position here. We have suffered our first casualty. Should have begun moving them sooner. Okay, what we'll do then is we'll take our platoon headquarters. So obviously this mortar team's busy. Right, a second vehicle has been spotted here. Has this spotted? Again by the infantry. Intriguing that we have a UAV over that site and it's the infantry doing the good job. But again, the infantry is obviously looking at it from a different angle. Okay. We are running out of time pretty quickly here. I've used just over half my time, roughly. Well, around about half my time. Right, I do have a plan over here. Ooh, now that's looking pretty vicious over there. Okay, let's move these vehicles out pretty quickly. I'm going to try an armoured push down the flank here. Now, you did have one land pretty damn close by. I mean, that little bit of smoke there is going to work towards our advantage. So what we're going to try and do here is going to move up. Now notice we have laser warning. Yeah, we've definitely been spotted by something here. We are going to fall back to this position here. Oh, right. Indeed. Okay, yep, move to that third floor. We have a potential tank here. Yep. Interesting. Let's have you advance into this building here. Yeah, we just had a solid line of sight then. Let's see. It's a shame that we don't have any smoke shells here, otherwise it would be nice to actually smoke this area up. Right, tell our T90s just to hold on there. Right, airburst munitions here. Tell me about it. Okay, so let's take a look. Do I have the means to call in artillery again? So you're still observing this position here. Mortars are ready to go. We are aware of armor in this area here, roughly, so it would be worthwhile to potentially call that in here. So obviously I don't have line of sight on that because we don't have our UAV over that area. We'll keep the UAV over that area then for the time being. But what I'm going to do here then is... Well, it's quite a rough thing, isn't it? I'll have them move up to this position here. End of the day, at least I can start to use them. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the game just accidentally crashed there. Right. That's awkward. That is quite awkward. I think it's just a game. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to run this in Administrator. So I'll load that back up. I don't think I'll actually have the save there, but we can always try a different scenario. Ah, it seems the music wants to start this time. There we go. Okay, well that's a shame. That's a shame. We'll find something else then. No worries about that. Yeah. Right, let's find a different scenario. Ideally something that's going to be rather... Ah, mate, if only I had Paul on my actual computer. If only. We'll go with a rather short battle then. Something here. Right, obviously that's not the short one. August morning, opportunity attack, hold the line. You know what, in honour of our guest here, Nikita, we will try Gauntlet's Crossed. If I remember it correctly, it's one of my favourite scenarios. We will go as, let's see... I'm going to go as the attacker. It's probably always better to actually play the attacker in scenarios like this. Obviously the AI is only an AI. It's not as bad as me. Oh dear. Right on then. A small group of Russian soldiers have been spotted in the northern outskirts. They seem to have occupied a few multi-story buildings along the by road that goes around leading to the west in the direction of Kiev. Charlie Company of the 2nd Battalion, 503rd, have been sent to clear the area. Okay, so what can we expect here? Enemy forces, only a dozen foot mobiles are spotted. Expect at least one rifle platoon. No enemy vehicles have been spotted as of yet. The key would be to isolate the objective area, at least partially, to deny enemy movement and allow our own support fire from multiple directions. After that, make a cautious but decisive assault. Okay, we'll take a quick look at the tactical map here. Right, this is what I love. I love scenarios like these. These are my favourite. Is like having these really close quarters infantry battles. I just think they're absolutely fantastic in Combat Mission Black Sea. So we'll go with this then. Okay, yep, I can remember playing this from the actual demo, as well as I've played it once or twice before, but I really do like this scenario. I also like it because I think we do gain... sure we have it somewhere. Or should we have, like, the, what is it, the experimental US, like, grenade launcher or something? I'm sure somebody has it. Not this one. I'm sure somebody has one. I feel like I've seen it. It may come later. I'm sure that is definitely like one of the experimental grenade launchers. Okay, so approaching the town is going to be rather intriguing. Considering the fact that we do have a very large building here, I can almost guarantee that it's going to be occupied. Though it doesn't necessarily have to be. I think it might be a case of how do we approach the situation. It's probably better to approach it from different angles. So I think possibly a beeline towards this building here. It is going to be rather dangerous, so we could potentially move them here, but then even this is like a kill zone. This entire street is a kill zone. It's there? Is it? I know it's there somewhere. Where is it? Let's take a look. It's not that one, is it? No. Ah, there we go. No, wait, that's the M10. Ah, there we go. Yeah, the M25. That's the thing I was talking about. That thing's basically bloody awesome. Really bloody cool. Yeah, that's basically a bolter. Or the Emperor. Right. I am going to have them assault towards this position here. I think at the end of the day, we could probably do a blast into this compound here first and foremost. So this one would be really quite nice, the actual high-rise building. So we'll assault towards that position there, and then we can throw smoke out and then cross over here. We do have the LMGs, or the MGs. I'll have you just deploy that weapon, just keep an eye out here. Okay, deploy, look that way. Look that way, talk that way. Right, I'm gonna have these guys just cover this open area here for the time being. Okay. So you've got orders to move on to that position, you have no orders at the moment, you have orders to move here. I do have a breach team. So what we'll do then is we'll have him blast that first. You can hold on here for the time being. Headquarters over here. Right, okay. So we'll blast our way into this compound. We'll move to take this building here. And then, well, I can try and get some infantry in here, ideally. At the same time, I would like to move across the street. We need to try and coordinate things. This is where playing it turn-based is usually quite good, because you can really coordinate things quite well. Okay. So we'll roll with that, see how we get on then, shall we? There's a huge potential for death here. Huge, huge potential. I really do love these scenarios though. Just the ones where you have the bloody infantry on infantry battles is just fantastic.
Did you see that?
Okay, blast that, please.
Quiet down. Let's get some noise discipline.
Okay, well, they blasted it. I do hope they didn't kill themselves. No, they didn't kill themselves. That's always a good, quite a handy bonus. I don't know. I think sometimes, I think it's OBS more than anything sometimes. Okay, move on to the second floor. I'm going to have you move up to here. But actually, first and foremost, we'll have you push up to this position here. So just wait. Just wait. Wait on the corner there. Just stack up on the corner, I think you'd say. I'm really bad when it comes to my, like, tactical lingo. Right, I'm going to move you there. I'd then like you to actually just throw some smoke across the street there. So just, if you would be so kind, throw me some smoke into that area. What I'd like to do is obviously push up into this building as pushing across here. Though, if I throw the smoke first, I could have the actual breach team move across here. It's not too great, but what we'll do then is potentially use the second lot of infantry over here. Though, they should be able to make it across here. Okay, so, need to try and coordinate these things at the same time. So rather than using the assault command, I might as well just use a move. God, you know what? I need to actually upgrade my computer sometime. I think that might be the next thing to do. Though I'm saving for a house at the moment, and I would absolutely love to have like a spare room to turn into like a proper recording office. That'd be fantastic. Then I'd learn how to edit, or have somebody to do editing for me, because I don't edit because I'm not very good at it, and I'm fairly lazy like that. I know those of you who've been following me for a long time are going to be like, yeah, we knew that, and we dislike you for it, but hey. Right, ideally blast me a hole in there. Or here'll be fine then, just blast me a hole. How about you stop moving and you start doing what I tell you to goddamn well. So, whoa! Not quite what I had in mind, but I suppose that will work to our needs. Okay, well they're basically bloody there anyway. Okay, let's move into the first floor then. Yeah, I may have possibly given them the order here instead of here. Awkward. If you could be so kind. So there, Rokossovsky. Rokossovsky. I can't believe you say Russian names to save my life. Right, there we go. We have a hole in the wall. Okay, yep, move in there. Take position. Moving in here. Good, 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 good. Okay, what I'd like to do is I'd like to time these things up pretty well. Yeah, I accidentally gave it to them over here, didn't I? Didn't quite expect that. Shockingly, I know. Right, they're moving in. So I'd like to coordinate this. I'd like them to obviously move into the second floor here. Second, potentially third floor. Third floor is probably going to take some shots. So I'd like to do is just... then again, I mean, we do have what looks to be an Orthodox church over here, which is pretty cool. I like the attention to details like that. It does make the world feel, like, lived in. Like in a real place. Okay, what I could potentially do then is, let's see. We'll take control of this building. I think that's probably the main point. You spelled my name correctly. Right, move to the third floor. I suppose what we're going to have to do here is move pretty quickly. So, second floor. I'd like you to pop smoke in this direction over here. So if you would like to do that, yeah, pop some smoke here. Technically it's Polish. Awesome. Right, have you lift that weapon, run to this position here. Right, second platoon's arrived, with a lot more men. Okay, move to that third story building. Have you then deployed that weapon? Issue is they're vulnerable to snipers, but I'd like to use them to obviously lay down some suppressive fire. Okay, so far so good. We don't see anything as of yet. But it will happen. It will happen. Righto. So far, nothing has been spotted, but that could rather quickly change. I'm going to wait for the MG team and then I might move up to the roof here. Though I might move the MG team up to the roof. Yeah, and just like that, we are hearing shots. We can see that there's potentially a sniper team there. I don't know who's actually taking fire. I was going to go with the assumption that probably everybody. Right, I just want you to hide for the time being. Okay, so I'd like you to actually, cross the street here. Western Barbarian. I like it. Okay, do I have a position here I can look down the road with? If there's a window that would be amazing, but I don't have that. So we'll have them stack up as well. Okay, move. I mean, the MG team might be fired upon here. Honestly, I would expect them to move through there, but I guess they know better. I suppose they're just going to go with the actual best move. Okay, who's spotting that? Right, you're spotting that. Okay, well, how about we actually lay some fire down there? As we have ourselves a lone sniper here using his SVD. So, yep, some fire would be very welcome there. Yeah, I know, the infantry is really awesome. Okay, he's about to come under a lot of fire. See, this is what I love about Combat Mission Black Sea. It's just watching infantrymen. Yep, there goes the grenades. Let's just put some extra fire in there. Right, that will do me fine. The entire point of that is just to keep that sniper's head down. We'll get the MG team up to the roof. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. What's up there, new houser? How you doing? Okay, so while that sniper's head is down, what we will do then is, I could try to assault into the compound here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some smoke out this way. I'm going to have them assault into the second story. I need to be able to use these MGs. I do have additional infantry, so what I might do here is, while this is covered by smoke, is actually have them push up to this position here. So they'll have two teams and their breach team head over that way. I do have additional MG teams. It's a little bit too much at the moment. I have another team here in reserve for the time being. I'm going to move up the breach team. Have them in the first floor. Okay, so a few things are going to happen now. Obviously, these guys are going to start moving in here. These guys are going to throw that smoke out. Yep, he's under fire. Definitely this position here. What are we looking at in terms of munitions? So I don't... Well, I have a couple of grenades left. I have a few 84 shots as well. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just take some liberty here. The MG, though, could be quite handy. It's the MG setup. Semi-deployed at the moment. You don't have a huge amount of ammo. Only about 800 rounds. So it's one of these, isn't it? Okay. So we'll start lighting this area up then. Right, we'll target it initially with heavier weapons, obviously, so the grenade launchers. Come on, guys, stop shit talking. Right. There he is. So clear target. Fire on you. Yeah, looks like he has been targeted. Yeah, his head's down. Oh, they have the... I love one of these things. I've actually got one of these things for my own rifle. That's freaking awesome. PUQ box, I think they call them. That's awesome. Love it. Okay. Well, they seem to have spotted their own target now, so I'll just allow them to do that. Okay, yeah, you do have eyes on the target. So we obviously do need to push up here. Did you actually throw smoke out? Do you actually have smoke? Did I actually tell them to pop smoke? Oh, you know what? Bugger it. Oh, okay. I guess you guys are going to move down that way. Sure, why not? Why not? Bugger it, I guess. Move up over there, then. Right. So we're going to have you move into the second story building over here. Give them a couple seconds to do that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these guys. I'd like them to push up to this position here. I'd then like to blast my way and move up there. So, again there. So I'm going to have you move in about 20 seconds, and you in about 15 seconds. Grenade launchers out. What do you mean like a dad? Bitch, I am your dad. You know, I really wouldn't like to be that sniper at this point. Can you imagine... Your position's quite well known, I suppose you could say. You're heavily outnumbered. So there, Polo. Hello there, Polo Mint. How you doing, my friend? I do quite like a polo. I drive a Golf, but I do like polos. Oh, God. Yeah, he's definitely taking shots. He's a stubborn little bastard. Oh, fuck me, somebody just died. Yeah, he's down. Casualty. I'm gonna assume possibly another sniper. Send by. You guys know I talk to you anyway. Oh, yeah, that's nasty. Oh, that is nasty. You nasty son of a bitch. You nasty bitch. Indeed. And what I found quite interesting, as far as aware, basically, like, German tactics when it came to, like, clearing a town. Obviously, with armor as well, so they'd obviously have the infantry move up, and then they'd use the armor on the outskirts. I suppose the thing is, like, okay. Right. That was awesome, dude. How is Italy? Right, they are reacting fairly well, though. We have already lost a soldier here. So as far as we can tell, obviously we do. Well, we are aware of a sniper here. We're aware of a infantryman over here, but I'm going to assume that is there's more over here. Definitely more. Okay, so if you guys would be so kind as to blast me a hole here. Right, blast that position here. Right, so they're opening fire. I suppose that's not a bad idea. They do have to keep that suppressed. Okay, I'd like to move up an NG team to that building. Okay. Right. You don't got too many troops here. It's funny you actually say that. Fire support has just arrived. Issue is I was trying to find a way to use it. So I'll have these guys move up over here to the, well, roof. Stop there, cursor. How you do, my friend? Right, so we do have this position under fire. We do have this position held here. I think we are going to have to move up to here. I do have my infantry. What I'll have them do then is move through here. Then I do need them to move up pretty quickly. Right, you are providing fire support. MG team is moving. What I'll do then is I do have this spare team in the back here. So I'm going to have them move quite quickly. Through the streets. To the first floor here. I'm English. Right, so far so good. Sniper was in this building, wasn't he? Okay. Move on to this building here. That accent. Oh, my accent's pretty awesome. Awful. Okay, move you up there. Right. Let's deploy that weapon. I would like the other MG to actually move up to that building as well. They're really quite handy. I'll have the command team move up there too. So we do have command of this courtyard. So I'm going to move the actual forces in here. Now, once you're deployed, I could afford to move you up. Right, is the MG team deployed over here? The MG team is in fact deployed, yeah, that's brilliant. I think I'll move them to the roof then. Have them deploy on the roof. Forward observers, have them obviously look out that way. I think what I'd like to do then is obviously rain down some mortars over here. You follow an Aussie? Oh bloody hell, don't tell an Aussie that, they'll bloody kick your ass. Right. Now, this is quite a dangerous section. I was worried that they weren't inside the building there. This is a standalone game. It's about, I think I got this in about 20... Bloody hell, you know what, it might have been 2015. It might have been 2015 that I got this game. But it was around $55, and I don't know how bloody much it is now. But I really do like this one. I think it's one of my favourites. Okay, so we have the smoke out here. We'll give that just a couple seconds. I'm going to tell these guys, first and foremost, just to pause for about 10 seconds, and then I'd like you to actually assault this building here. We'll clear out that sniper. Right, we were able to handle the threat in this building here. God, it does take them a long time to deploy that MG. Okay, so far so good. Still $55? Okay. And some of the World War II ones are pretty good. Like, Red Thunder's quite good as it did introduce a lot of new mechanics. Like, being able to obviously have tank riding is really cool. Did introduce flamethrowers, I think? Or more flamethrowers. Either it brought flamethrowers in or... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Red Thunder where you got flamethrowers. Yeah, I like the sound effects. I like the actual infantry voices. Well, the actual infantryman voices. Okay, so you're moving up there. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move a squad of infantry to the top of the building. Not you with the casualty. I'm going to take... Actually, yeah, we'll take you with the casualty. Give them some time to obviously rest. And at the end of the day, at least they're actually up here. So we'll have them head to the roof. I'll have the MG head to the roof as well. So head up to that roof. It's a fantastic position if I can actually take command of it. I would like to actually drop some mortar rounds. I reckon probably down this area. I think that's probably, if not definitely, where the enemy is going to be holding off. So, line that up, please. I'd like a heavy bombardment. We'll have a medium one. Let's go with general. It's about 2 minutes there. Yeah. Okay, we do have command of that building, so I'm going to assume that the sniper is in fact dead. Yes, he is. Okay, so we had 2 snipers then. We had a sniper team up here. Okay, no wonder it seemed rather hard to deal with them. So as far as yet, we do have command of this building up over here. Really, that is... Somebody tell me how the hell you turn this NVIDIA crap off, because it's really irritating me. It just came on one day and I'm like, I did not even turn you on. Right. While you're up here, do you have any smoke rounds? Smoke grenades? Do you have any smoke left? If you could do me a favor and just chuck some smoke off from the top of the building, that'd be great.
Shot out.
Grenade, take cover.
I love that. I just love the fact that you can actually see them flying out there. That's brilliant. Okay, so what we're going to do here then. I do have the command team, but I'm not going to move them. That's pretty cool. So that Emil, how you doing, my friend? Okay, now the team at the bottom here. See, this is it. How do I approach this? I'm going to approach this from this angle. So we'll approach this area here. Once they move up, I'll obviously have the
Shot over. Shot.
breach team move as well. Okay, so the mortars are going out there. I think once these mortar rounds land here, it should ideally suppress that building. So I definitely have a feeling there's going to be something, if not definitely something there. It's just too good of a position, you know. Too good. Too goddamn good.
Roger. Fire for effect.
See, I like that. That was quite cool. Quite a nice spread there as well. What do I have in reserve then? So I've got a few mortars. I do an EXO team. I love the fact that you can actually see the mortars there. That sounds like a gunshot. That sounds like gunshots? Or is that the mortars? I'm going to assume it's the mortars. Yeah, there we go. So it's not going to do anything really massive, is it? At the end of the day, its only purpose there is really to suppress. Like I said, I do have this team over here. So what we're going to do then is we're going to move towards this building here. Now, I do eye up this building here. It would be nice to take advantage of that. So we are going to deploy out to this position here. I'm going to take alongside them the breach team. There we go. Right, you're deployed. Okay, move into that building there. Breach team can move across here into the first floor. Bloody hell, we gained engineers now. What do we have? That's so many engineers. Let's move them up and then we can obviously deploy them from there. Move to the church. There we go. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that wouldn't be very pleasant. How many rounds do you actually have? Not a huge amount, so I probably should cancel that. Right, just ceasefire. Oh, looks like you've just finished as well. Okay, okay. Now... I could potentially use these engineers, actually. That'd be quite nice. Yeah, I can imagine mortars are bloody scary. Oops. Okay. Stack up on that position there. We're then going to assault this building here. I want to move in there. Okay, I'd like them to move into the second floor. Right, there we go. Squad is a little bit spread out. Okay, I'd like to keep an eye on this area here. I'd like you to obviously look out over this area. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this MG team up from here. Move them to the top of this building here. Right. Actually, I could move into this building. So what we'll do then is we'll use this squad to move into this building here. Once they're in here, I could use the breach team to blow a hole in this wall, then move into this building. Actually, going to turn shadows off here. Say Alt S. No, that's sound. What is it for shadows? Alt W. Okay. There we go. Engineers moving across there. So far we've had very light resistance, which obviously, yeah, as you can imagine, fills me with dread. And considering that, yeah, it's going to be worse. It's going to be far worse to come. We got what, an ACOG? Right. God's sakes. Do you actually have to move them there, then press blast? I just finished playing the Shock Force 2 demo train mission. That's a good point there, Truth. Did you join the Discord? I still need to give you... You had some issues regarding One the Pacific, didn't you? You did message me on Twitter. Actually, one of the things is I really don't use Twitter. Right. I'm going to have some smoke thrown out here. So in that direction there. Pop me some smoke if you please. Yeah, there we go, grenades out. Awesome. We'll give that a few seconds really to get going. Okay, if the blast team could blast please. Really good at doing it. Just not particularly where I always want it to happen, but you still do it. So you do a stellar job. Stellar job. Honestly, quite shocked that nobody has blown themselves up as of yet. Usually that would be something that would have happened to me by now. Okay, so we have a lot of forces stacked up over here. Right, the MG team's just moved into position, which is quite nice. Get them set up and we'll be good to go. So far, so good. Oh, I see. Right, a few things are going to happen here. Well, they just actually went around okay. Sure, why not? I mean, if it works, it works. What can I argue? Frankly, can't. So, I'll take it. Okay. Yeah, no issues. That worked fine. Okay, so we have multiple teams moving here. Good chance that someone's probably going to die, but hopefully with the amount of targets, it should obviously dissipate some of the return fire. Ideally. Ideally. Okay, genuinely expected somebody to be dead by now, so this is actually going a hell of a lot better than I would have imagined. Yeah. I think if we can try and take command of this... Yeah, there we go, this is where somebody dies. Okay. Just if you could hide here for the moment. Don't seem to have any smoke. Okay, so let's just, slowly move out of here. I mean, you were firing back, but I'd rather not have you exposed. Well, you know what? Actually, just... I mean, if you can take the shot, then... Yeah. That was a little bit dangerous. Yeah, I know, right. Definitely. Definitely. Accidental squad wipe. Yeah, I really did feel like there was going to be some force here. It seems like we've only got, like, what, 2 guys? We've got a... Yeah, so that's just 2 assault rifles. But of course, they do have grenade launchers, so obviously it's quite dangerous, isn't it? Can I blast here? Okay, we do have the option to blast, so blast. Blast that ass. Okay, that looked like a grenade. Okay. Yeah, you're down. Blast. For the love of God, blast. Okay, just get the hell out of Dodge. Right, blast. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, indeed. Right, move to the 2nd floor. Right, blast. Blast that ass! Oh. Well, that's good to know. Didn't realize about that. Ooh, you're under fire. Sound like somebody died just then. I don't know about you, but that did sound like somebody just died.
Fire mission over.
Right, there we go. Move quite quickly here. Try and flank the enemy here.
But fire mission out.
Ooh, okay. Enemy here. So what we'll do then is not do that, and instead move to that position there. Though, let's see. You do have line of sight, and you do have an MG actually deployed. Right, you're zeroing in there. That's good.
Shot over. Shot out.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
They're definitely taking casualties. If you will. The camera jitter's just, I think it's just something with the recording or something with the game. I don't particularly know what's causing it. I'll try and figure it out afterwards.
Roger. Fire perfect.
Seems to be when I use like a certain, I don't know, it seems to be when I like right click to move that it causes issues. Okay, so their heads are down. Right, their heads are down. Can't tell here, but I'm going to assume the same. That's the breach team. Fuck. Yeah, we could do with reinforcing that, couldn't we? Okay.
Shot over. Shot out.
Okay, what I might do then is actually move to the first floor here. Then move across here to the roof. It's dangerous, but might be worthwhile. Do they actually have line of sight there? No, I don't think they do. Kinda do. Okay, what I'll do then is I'll tell them to move to the roof. So once these mortar rounds start landing, that'll be good. Okay, this grenade fire is really handy. Yeah, keeps them suppressed. Right, you're under fire. What I'll do then is I'll actually tell them just to target this area, just put some covering fire down. Okay, we lost a dude. Okay, that'd be a little bit mad to move there, so just, if you could move into there, please. Oh wow, there's a lot of enemies there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of dudes. Right, hide. Okay. I mean, this is really dangerous, but I think we can make it just for this cover. Ideally, we flank them. Come on. Yeah, looks like, yeah, looks like that went quite badly there. I was hoping they'd blast that wall. Okay. Though I only have about 5 more minutes recording time, to be fair. Okay, the issue is we have a lot of assets, it's just really trying to use them. It's like badminton with 40mm grenades. I like that. Yeah, they got massacred here. So I should probably tell them to go in through here and then in through here. Okay, just do that then. Right, we did take one of them out here. Okay. I do have this other team here. I think I would like to try and make a push to this position here, so I'm going to move them just up here, then we'll throw grenade out, smoke grenades out into the street. Okay. Pop that smoke. And if you could do the same, but you don't have a smoke. Okay, that'll do brilliantly, actually. Sometimes I prefer to have, like, less troops. I know that sounds rather counterintuitive, but sometimes... Well, I do find it easier to manage less troops, of course that does make sense. But when you have reinforcements, you tend to get quite reckless with the forces you have. Yeah, like, we lost a couple guys there ridden in the street. We are taking quite heavy casualties. This would never fly. We have taken out one of the enemies here. Then again, we are assaulting here, which is the difficulty. When you're going up against a fairly dug-in defender. I mean, they do have all the choice of the buildings here. So it does work out quite well for them. Though, unfortunately, that's all I have time for today, so thank you so very much for watching, and thank you to Nikita, one of the actual scenario designers. You did a hell of a job, my friend, and it would be nice to actually see some more scenarios by you in the future. So until then, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and goodbye for now.